This is the Lodge Recording Studios in Indianapolis, Indiana. My name is Andy Simons. I'm the studio manager here. Right now we are in our sound stage, Studio A. This is the recording space that is used for up to 50-piece orchestras or concert bands, large vocal ensembles, or 3-piece rock and roll band. This room has got a large acoustic space, lots of natural decay in the room, as well as a nice complement of movable baffles that allow us to kind of change the acoustical dynamics of the room. The studio also houses a Yamaha C7 piano. Behind, or in front of me here, behind the camera, is a Leslie and a B3. 3 isolation booths, one designed for the piano, one designed for a vocal booth, and also a pretty nice sized drum booth for isolating drums from the rest of the live room. This room was the formal meeting room of the Masonic Lodge that this building now is housed in, or the studio is now housed in. This is where they would obviously have their meetings. When this room was designed, the drum booth and control room would have been added on, but this space was what they used and has not been changed very much from the original design of the room. The sconces on the walls, the columns, the crown molding are all original from the design of the original facility.
We're in Studio A at the Lodge Studios in Indianapolis. This is the room I mainly work in out of the 4 studios that are here in this complex. We have an old API console. Actually, it was built by API for Donald Fagen. He used it for a while and then shifted it to upstate New York, where it was at Dreamland Studios for a number of years, and then made its way to the Midwest, and we've had it since 1994, I think, 93, 94. The room that we have here was designed by George Augsburger out of California. I had worked in some of his rooms in Los Angeles when I was out there and really liked the way they sounded, so we contracted him to come and do the design inside this facility for this particular control room, and then also for the space in the studio. We did that after we bought the building in 1991, but with the way things work in Indiana, he couldn't actually submit the blueprints, so it was a design firm here in Indianapolis that talked to George Augsburger, that sent me the pictures, that sent back to the designer, etc., etc. So the design actually took about 4 months to get done, but it's a very, very balanced room. Anybody familiar with George Augsburger's rooms and his monitoring systems, you know those rooms are pretty flat, so we feel like this room is very, very accurate, probably one of the most accurate control rooms in the Midwest, certainly in Indianapolis. We pride ourselves on having a lot of old equipment. The API, built in 1979, all discrete components. We love the sound of that. We have some of the original URI tube limiters, 1176, 175, 176. Some of the old UM57 tube microphones by Neumann when they were over in East Germany, built in about 1957. So we try to complement that with some of the newer equipment and kind of marriage the two together to try to keep the sound as analog as possible. That's where I grew up, so I'm always trying to keep things as analog sounding as possible.